you know what I thought we'd do? Graham. I thought we'd start with a quote of the day.
Oh, okay.
Because we might as well get that going.
That's exactly what you told me we were starting with, so I'm happy. Yeah,
okay.
Cool.
Are you going to read it out? it's only small words. It's nothing.
Yeah, I'll read it out for you. He who smiles in a crisis has found someone to blame.
Usually they're accountants.
Really?
Do you know what we've got to do?
Go on.
Every year we've got to do a certain amount of like study to keep us in the loop, and we've got to prove it, otherwise we lose our practicing certificates. And
study as in like
CPD,
rules
continual
and, right.
personal development, professional development. So at the moment, I'm just reading through, this is what I'm up against. And this is about inheritance tax, trusts and estates. This book was £140 for that book. And you wonder why your fees are so high, But all of that, I was looking at that because I was actually looking for something particular to jog my memory, because I've been getting a lot of inquiries lately, and it's actually quite upsetting. It's been about the bounce back loans, not about how do I get them, but I can't pay them, So one of the things that I've got to say is quite often if a company gets into trouble financially, you put yourself potentially in front of the official receiver, and you can get questioned about what as a director, as your culpability is as far as the company not being able to pay its debts. And that's bad enough, but when it comes to the bounce back loans, they're guaranteed by the government, so the banks probably won't try too hard, although they should, to get the money recovered. But the government might have you in front of them, because they obviously you're not just, it's not just a commercial loan anymore now. So the things to be aware of is that the loan was given to help people carry the business on. It wasn't given to pay your mortgage or buy a car or buy a boat. So if you are struggling to pay it back, the banks will listen and help you to maybe extend the loan. But I think maybe speak to your accountant, speak to me to just to double check where you are on things. I mean, I know I had a client the other day that he says to me, well, what if I borrow the money from someone else, pay off that one, and then at least I won't be in as much trouble when the company goes bankrupt? And then, no, you know what I mean? But there are things we can look at. Incidentally, when it comes to problems, financial problems, you've got to look at things in two ways. Is a business viable? So if you sort out the debt problem, is it viable to continue? Or is it like, COVID's put us out of business, but now things are going back to normal, we can get things back to normal? Or is the business just basically unsustainable? So then we have two different conversations, because there are things, of short-term income generation. I mean, I know a little bit of a trend at the moment is to sell shares in your business, potentially to employees, and there's all sorts of tax advantages if employees buy shares in the business. So that's something to look at. Graham, you're laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. It's just, it's just the timing. Then you won't know till you watch it back.
Oh, okay.
Me and Aidan timed it perfectly. Faded me in. I was going to jump in, and you were like, "Next segment, next story."
Let's go back.
So we were
struggling
giggling.
To pay bounce back.
No, we were giggling just because I was faded out again.
Oh, well, just let me throw another spanner in the works, because you know my dad makes bags and it makes all sorts of print. Well, he's made me these key rings. Look. Can you do something so people can see it?
Already done, my man. Okay. Already done.
So my dad makes them, but I don't know what you think of them, but he wants to charge me £1 each for them. Nice promotion, and we've got to do something, because all this is expensive. We're going to keep the lights on somehow. So we make these videos and hope people come and take us on board to do their accounts and look after them that way.
It's not just accounts, though, is it?
No, it isn't.
For people that don't know, Stephen's desk is there, just next to me, and I'm here. I edit the shows afterwards. Some of the calls we get, it's not just like, have you done me taxes or whatever? It's crazy stories about buying off him 10 years ago and then getting involved with this, and you're like, Stephen, fix it, and you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, we did. I know what you're referring to, because we had a situation where we're trying to balance somebody's accounts in, which are almost really, if they don't get in soon, they'll be late. And the guy's bought some property for several £100,000, but we can't find this payment going out. And he says, well, I've borrowed the money, but we can't see the money coming in. So normally, if you buy a commercial property, you're borrowing the money, it comes into your account, and you use it to pay for the property, or the payment goes straight to the property people. But you see documentation. But what happened here was that this business, this property was repossessed by the bank, and what my client did was merely take over the loan. So there was nothing going through the banks. So we've got this property, and we can't think where it's where the money's come from, because it wasn't a deal like that. It was just to take over the loan. That's all.
Can I just say as well, on the BBL, the bounce back loans, because people keep calling them BBL loans, and that frustrates me because it's bounce back loan. That's
there's been more than one.
BBL scheme. Yeah, there has been more than one.
And then
payments started this month, June,
if
you're watching out.
Yep.
But people had 3 months warning. So that's 3 months they could have phoned accounts direct and sorted all this nonsense out. So if they're struggling now,
what are you getting annoyed for?
It's on your, I'm just annoyed.
Like, you've never paid a debt back. I'm trying
here we go.
I'm just saying, if people are in trouble with it, let's talk. There's things we can do now before it goes too far.
I'm just saying.
And I mentioned employee equity as one way, but it depends on the viability of the business.
Equity, is that like where you
have a share in the business,
where you hire more black people and stuff like that for better representation?
No.
Well, what?
That's equality.
No, equality is when everyone's treated the same. Equity. Yeah, tret. I'm doing my thing here right now, Hayden. Yeah, can we?
Treated? No, I can't.
Where are we going?
I was being northern.
No, it's about shares. It's about ownership. It's about what you own, as opposed to what's owed to other people.
Why would you want employees to own part of your business?
Well,
though,
you
honestly?
don't. But if it's a way of
you don't.
if you've got sometimes if you've got a company that's in debt, but it's a good, strong, viable business, maybe. I mean, would you buy into accounts direct if I gave you the opportunity?
Yeah, once you're gone, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But you see, that's another type.
Once it's stable.
That's part of the negotiation. That's So you say, well, I'm not buying into it if Stephen's there.
Yeah.
But if he's gone, then I'll put in. I was going to say thousands, but you don't know what that relates to with money, do you?
No.
So
I've got no
I'd put
concept
in
whatsoever,
a few £100. But no. It's just a lot of employers do give staff shares in lieu of wages to reduce tax burdens, but it's also a way of making people more committed. And there's lots of reasons, but a lot of businesses are quite viable. That if they want to sell, instead of selling a business on the open market, they can sell it through some sort of trust with their employees. And it's a tax efficient way of selling a business, and it means that anybody working for the firm has got an ownership within the business without it being, if you don't want to go down the co-op route.
What's the cheekiness of it though?
Cheekiness.
What's the future Bezos paying a $1 tax a year?
You're talking right. We're going to something else. In fact, that's being covered at the moment with the G7 Summit, isn't it?
Yes.
So everyone's off on the 7th. What date is tomorrow? 7th.
Tomorrow is 11th.
11th. So they're off to St Ives for the G7 Summit. Thousands of delegates from all over the world going to discuss climate change and tax. And I think the FSB, the Federation of Small Business, there with their special task force of the SME.
The SME 7 that I didn't know about before today. I found it. I was like, oh, that's good. Standing up for the common man.
Let's improve broadband.
Yeah, and they've asked for free broadband.
Free broadband.
And how to make businesses more environmentally friendly, which is a thing.
Yeah, but if you've got all like the G7 and the delegates of the richest country, it's not the richest countries in the world that are there. It's the strongest economies based on an advanced economy. So like they don't let China in, do they? Because China's, even though it's richer than most of the other countries, the economy, they've got a very low GDP. So there's too much poverty for it to be considered an advanced economy. Whereas you've got Japan, that is, and England, well, UK, and obviously America. And
why are you not down there, man? You should be down there.
I'd like to.
Nonsense, this SME 7 nonsense.
I'd sort them out.
It really irritated me that. We're at the tail end of the thing that you can't mention on YouTube because
Which bit?
The unspecified illness that's been quite common the last year and a half.
Right. Can't
Well,
you mention that on YouTube?
No, not really. You'll half your views straight away.
Oh, right.
Adobe.
So now we're down to 2.
Thanks, Aidan. Thanks, Aidan. Yeah. Because
So-
I'll be here Monday. You won't
No.
He won't turn up.
Do you know
I'll be here Monday.
one thing I think is something worth mentioning is that they're looking at this tax unification where across the world there's got to be a minimum 15% corporation tax. So if you've got 15% corporation tax across the world, it sort of wipes out the point of tax havens, doesn't it? So bye-bye Cayman Isles, bye-bye Southern Ireland.
What's wrong with tax havens?
Well, the argument is that the rich get an unfair advantage over the poor, and you get a lot of drug dealers hiding money. So, but I don't think having a place like having a uniform tax rate would affect the bad people, because the whole money in itself isn't right. But your rich dentist or your people, we've got to work schmuckling the books. I don't want to. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Graham, you pay a fortune in tax, don't you? So why should you get away with paying that tax when I mean, why should other people, when you pay so much money in tax, that other people get away with it by sort of making use of local rules?
I don't know.
No.
But again though, where's the thing? What is it with Europe and just in general at the moment, where it's like, right, well, we're gonna, what right do me and you and our representative government have to start dictating the tax rates in other countries?
Oh, because if everyone joins the same club and everyone's paying tax at the same rate, then no one's getting away with it.
Yeah, but they're gonna though, aren't they?
Well, there's always a way.
As if the rich and powerful are going to be suddenly thwarted by a uniform tax rate. It's not going to make a damn bit of difference.
Well, it will to people that the rich dentist. It won't to these massive corporations, because at the end of the day, if they don't like the trading terms in a country, they'll just stop trading there. They'll do something else.
Or they'll, like you say, they'll just smuggle it another way, and it'll get hidden into.
But this is what they're going to talk about. This is one of the things on the agenda, and I think in many ways that if everyone is in a level playing field and everyone's the same, then the things that make normal business money will be expanded on. So if you've got a good quality business, then you're playing against fair competition rather than some people that are not paying the VAT or not paying the tax. So they've suddenly got a massive benefit, and I think that's the argument. What we've got going on at the moment with making tax digital and every other initiative brought out with HMRC is it's making a level playing field anyway. And I think the type of people who are watching this video won't be too interested in a uniform tax rate across the world, because they're operating in the UK and they're having to play everything digital and they're having to declare everything. There's no escape, even if they wanted it anymore. So that's happening regardless of any decision that's made at the G7.
It does frustrate me though a little bit, because it's not as simple as just creating a uniform tax rate. Because say you're talking about corporation tax, there's still other business
taxes.
Rates, there's other things that
other
do
taxes.
vary.
Yeah.
And the only way to make all of that uniform and genuinely equal is to completely destroy the autonomy of every country involved.
Well, what they're doing is like in the UK, that they're trying to tax every bit of business that is performed in the UK. So it doesn't matter where these people are. If they're in the UK, they're being taxed in the UK. And I think they're going more down that route. But if everyone cooperates, then that's what will happen. But my attitude is it goes a lot simpler than that. I'm not really one for international politics or taxation. I just think if we're dealing with small businesses that get out there and sell key rings with people's names on it, and you offer the right product, and you know your customer and you deal with your niche, then it doesn't really matter what everyone else is doing. You're going to build yourself up. And I think a wise man said that he's glad Amazon doesn't pay any tax, because it keeps the cost of the products lower, so he pays less.
That sounds like something a very wise person would say.
Or an idiot. I can't understand. But I just thought we'd mention that tomorrow, maybe next year, or wherever it is, if we get our news agency and our journalists ready, we can start bringing our own news feed in, can't we? Because we've already started playing games like that and see what happens. But I'm always looking at small businesses and how they can do stuff and improve. And I've always found that if one of the things to look at is a pitch within a business, isn't it, Graham? We were talking about this before. If you pitch your business right, then you can potentially, you've got to understand what your customer needs and what you've got to supply to them, and the whole business comes round. So then I keep saying tax doesn't matter. What matters is that you're getting the customers in, and you're servicing them, and they're coming back, and you're selling more. So if you get your pitch right, it means that not only are you selling the benefits of your products, but people are getting to know your business. And if people run and have faith in your business, then it's amazing what you can do. I mean, Elon Musk at the moment, he's talking about setting up his own restaurants, isn't he? So setting up his own restaurants is a testament to his brand, isn't it? Because he's gone from, he either drills holes or sends cars into outer space or builds batteries.
Or sells flamethrowers.
Yeah, but the thing is,
he made $2 million overnight just
his
flamethrowers.
brand is strong enough to carry into a restaurant. So because people know the brand, whether it's flamethrowers or whether it's sending cars into outer space, it's strong enough to carry a restaurant. Whereas most of us can't, we can't carry a brand over and above the products that we're selling. So, if we look at Accounts Direct, we sell bookkeeping, accountancy and related services. But I don't think our brand is strong enough to carry over to a restaurant. Maybe a laundrette, but not a restaurant. Anyway,
you sell me sometimes, don't you, Stephen? Eh?
Sell you?
You sell me. You send me off to do things.
What have I ever sent you off to do? Seriously.
Please, may I read some comments before you rush into the next segment?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Karen, because I'm going to talk about burnout in a minute, because you're making me burn out.
It's that way around. That's the dynamic, is it? Yeah. Mr. Kill C1, Colin, has said, evening all, good quote of the day.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
Glad you like it.
Great that it's the first one that Stephen picked that actually gets
true.
And all feedback.
How did they know I picked it?
They didn't know. It was a blind test.
Yeah.
You picked it, and the first comment we get in ages is from someone going, "Oh, it's good." Well, you know what, Colin? You should. I was going to say he should have been here, but he wasn't. Wasn't he? He's been watching for weeks. He's heard my quote today, and he's not said a word. Well, screw you, Mr. Kill C1. The Raw Geek said, if you have shares, you have a stake to want the place you work for to succeed. So you might actually try and do a good job.
Yeah. Well, that's the theory behind it. The trouble is, a lot of people don't think like you. A lot of people think, oh, I've got something for nothing here. I've got something dirt cheap. I don't need to work anymore.
We were talking about this the other day. I'd lose my mind doing that. I can't. You think you want to sit down and watch Netflix, but more than one day for me, and I actually start going crazy.
He's talking crap, isn't he, Hayden?
Yeah.
He really is talking crap.
More than one day?
What?
I know personally you've spent more than one day watching Netflix.
What? In a row? No,
Yes.
no.
No, hang on. Sorry, the school run doesn't count.
No, excuse me, right? The school run counts. I walk very slowly and I chat to the builders on the way. Total Utter Nutter said that big corporations lobby to have tax loopholes in place that only they can afford to exploit, so smaller companies can't compete.
It's more than just that. They don't want to pay tax. It's not about market share. It's not about stifling competition. That's just another way of stamping people out. It's giving people a lot of big firms, they get so many unfair advantages.
Yeah.
They do, and it's not right. But you see, the government encourages them. Throughout lockdown, instead of giving bounce back loans, why didn't they send people like me down to see small businesses and actually help them, show them, make them improve their infrastructure, certainly online? But they didn't. They just encourage firms like Uber Eats and Amazon and all these people that they complain about, but they made the sort of infrastructure really, really strong for these guys to really, really prosper. And now we're saying small businesses need to grow, the backbone of the economy. So why didn't they just send more help? Giving people money is great, but with responsibility. I mean, what do you expect people that are struggling and business isn't that good, that they don't know very much about marketing, they don't know much about management, they don't know much about any of these things, and all of a sudden you give them 25% of their turnover as a very low interest free loan. They're not going to look at it that way. And you know, business isn't coming in, clients aren't coming in, customers aren't coming in, the doors are closed, you can't serve anything, you can't do anything.
Yeah,
You know,
lose your contacts.
what do you
as well,
expect?
not buying
But
in.
if you send someone like me down, we can show them how to manage that infrastructure, not just to get out the immediate problem, but to get out the problem and move forward later. So how can you know how they can complain about people like Bezos and what's his name, Facebook and all these people that take an advantage wherever they can get it. I mean, even going and buying a cup of coffee, you know, they're not paying tax. Was it Costa and Starbucks and all these people? But you know, you go around, but there's no corner shops left selling coffee. There's so few cafes that you can go into. So you've got to go to these places. So they've destroyed the infrastructure. It won't take much to bring it back.
I just say as well, you know, they talk about tax loopholes and exemptions and that, and he said they're big corporations.
Yeah.
But there are accountants out there
Yeah.
who will help you navigate. It's not exemption.
But that's the word he used. It's navigate, because
And it's not just for big corporations, though.
no.
It is for the little guys.
But
as well.
there are lots. There are not many, as I say, loopholes anymore for smaller firms, and a lot of the bigger firms, they've just got more. It's not even just more money; it's more know-how and more adaptability. It's like you know the very rich. You know what one of the tricks are?
What?
You know, it's just sounds to me, if this is the same rules apply to small companies, it wouldn't be feasible. It wouldn't work. They borrow money using the profits of the company to guarantee the loans, and then they take those loans instead of income. So because it's a loan, there's no tax on loans because you've not earned anything, just borrowed it. So this is how they get away with a very lot of personal tax. But there comes a day when it catches up.
They'll never.
But the
catch me,
loans-
Stephen.
Well, that's the point. You couldn't borrow like that.
No.
Nor could I. You know.
See, I can talk stuff like that because he'd take one look at my bank and go,
Yeah,
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 it's all
yeah,
right, it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
There's nothing going on. We've got Biscuit Vapes said, hey
Yeah.
guys. He
Hi,
also
hi,
said,
Biscuits, Mr. Biscuit Vapes.
Yeah, Mr. Biscuit. He's,
That's a great name. I don't understand it, but okay.
Do you know what? He's a great guy as well.
Yeah.
I've spoke to him. I've spoken to him before now. He's a lovely, lovely guy. He says that Elon Musk deserves tax breaks. At least he's making humanity move forward. However, Bezos is a turd that doesn't even treat his workforce right.
Well, it's all opinions, isn't it? It's all viewpoints. People make money. Some people don't make money. Some people have got a better PR department. But believe you me, if you get to the big amounts of money that all these guys earn, they're not the nice guys you think they are. And at worst, they're just psychopaths that only care about money. But at best, they've got a nice, gentle touch. But I don't believe for 1 second that any of them are decent people. They're just a lot of money. So I will qualify that by saying I personally think they're really great guys, and I've got a lot to.
Just add, if you don't mind, they are, compared to how I would be if I had that sort
Yeah.
of money, they are angels.
No, yeah,
I would be an angel because
I would be unstoppable.
I
with that
wouldn't know
kind of
what to
money.
do with that type of money. I'd think nice house, nice car, couple of holidays, look after the family.
Country
I don't care.
and install myself as
I
dictator.
wouldn't want the stress.
There would be no stress.
You just wipe them all out. You
not with 20 billion pounds. It would be great.
call you Mao.
I was going to pop you up then, but it's a bit late. It's done
Yeah,
now,
I'm
isn't
done
it?
now. I'm finished.
No, I'm not.
Rich, I can just say though, Rich Hayden would be a nightmare. And the worst part of Rich Hayden would be, we've talked about this, would be my involvement with him would be so much.
Can I just say
that I'd
before
be
we go any further?
Go on.
This is a man whose little pug had
Yeah.
a little problem with its bottom, and he's busy putting Vaseline there.
I am not saying it.
I've never put Vaseline on
Well,
my
doggy
dog. What are you
Vaseline.
talking about?
He cries
Where
when
did
he's
that come
when your
from?
dog's upset. You get crying. But just going
I
back
started taking him to the vet. I like dogs more than people.
Well, I don't
Make
blame
no
you.
mistake.
On a different note,
What's
though,
this dog's bum got to do
I've
with
no
it?
idea.
do you know why
where
we're
Vaseline
talking?
come from.
Why we're talking about big companies? Can I mention
Where
New
are we?
Look? New Look, New Look. We were going to mention New Look.
Yes.
Because Hayden just reminded me, because Hayden you got banned from Twitter and
Oh, many
also
times.
many
yes,
times.
yes.
But in this particular case, you called a paedophile a fat nonce.
Yes, I did.
why are we doing that, man?
No, I'm going to say,
It's not my fault this time, going. Can't
yeah,
blame me.
yeah, because
How can I be on camera?
the guy wanted to arrange a pool party with 9-year-old girls unsupervised.
Yeah, without parents. Then.
With,
Topless.
Yeah, it's topless. Oh, I thought it was just a pool party.
Oh no, it's, if you go hard or go home.
But New Look have brought out. Sorry, New Look have brought out, or apparently these types of things, where they've got padded bras in the bikini for 9-year-old girls. And I think Kerry Katona was screaming about it.
Do you know what though? I think what that is an anti. I like where this show's going tonight, guys. By the way. I think that's an anti-paedophile device.
Okay.
Because paedophiles like kids.
Well, I wasn't thinking.
Surely, if they look like grown-ups,
they
that
wouldn't
takes
be
all the
interested.
fun out of it,
but
right?
I wasn't looking at it that deeply.
Don't ask me.
I'm just saying that do stores and the big firms, because the big firms that seem to have less responsibility towards their customers. But anybody out watching the show, do you sort of veto what goes on in your business? So I know if I was selling clothes, I wouldn't be selling padded bras to kids. You know, that's all I've got to say on that subject. No, nothing more there.
Did we mention Kerry Katona?
We did. I just said Kerry Katona.
Well, I don't know, because it went way off. Why do we even prep this show at this point?
Why I'm not on camera.
Anyway, look, let's look at what we've got coming up. Oh no, let's look at conspiracy, because that's further up in the list. What do you think, Graham? Have you had your injection yet? Have you had your second injection?
I've not had my first. I've not been offered it.
You've not had any. I've had both.
I've not been offered it, and I'm not worried about
People have been
it.
saying to me, you're not worried about like all this being injected with chemicals and stuff like that, and you know, tracking devices into your arm and your body. And no, it's probably I'm listening to too much Richie Allen.
They already know everything I do. So.
I don't actually care. You know,
Well,
do what they do.
Do you know what? The fact that I've not appeared in the Daily Mail yet, I think I'm good to go. All the filth I get up to.
Well, thanks for that.
But
I'm looking forward to an interview I've got next week, to a meeting I've got
Go on.
with he's a comedian, John Cooper. Hi, John. Hope you're watching. And I think his stage name is Danny Pensive, but he's coming up on a show next week. He mentioned to me that he'd like to talk about NFTs. Do you know what an NFT is?
is that something to do with bitcoins?
Well, just so that you know,
Sound like my dad.
it's actually, how's our cryptocurrency investment this week, Hayden? Has it gone up?
I'm afraid our third investor has lost all his investment
Has he?
now.
So has it gone down yet
just
again?
in.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's definitely suffering the losses for us. I believe there'll be a strong bounce back.
But not for the third investor.
No.
There you go, Sam. Keep it up. But let me just, before I talk about NFTs, yep, non-fungible tokens. I think this could be an answer to sort of like the gold reserve for cryptocurrency. Fungible. Let me just tell you what fungible is sort of where you've got something that is totally interchangeable with something else. So fiat currency is fungible. Petrol's foreign is fungible. So if I said to you, if you lent me 20 quid, Graham, which is hardly unlikely unless you follow me around night and day, but if you lent me 20, if you lent me 20 quid, I wouldn't have to give you that same £20 back, would I? As long as you get £20 back, it wouldn't have to be the £20 note you gave me.
Oh yeah, so it wouldn't have to have the exact same serial number on it or anything like that.
And it could even be 2 10s or 3 5s or. Sorry, I thought you'd fall.
No, that's the usual.
Yeah.
That's how
but it doesn't have to be the same.
goes when you
That's
roll me
because
money.
currency
As
like
always, by the way.
it's a fungible item. So a non-fungible item is something like a picture.
Yes.
You know, even a car, because no two cars are the same. So there's a little bit of a movement towards backing cryptocurrency with non-fungible tokens. So they're all different, and you own the right to that. I mean, it's what the blockchain's all about.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing for artists and for performers and.
Some people hate it though, don't they? Because
I don't know why.
It went around that it's like really bad for the environment because of the energy usage of it. But it's kind of like the way they've worked it out. Because I could give you an NFT.
Yeah.
And I send it to you.
You could give a lot of things that are initials, aren't you?
Yeah, and I send it to you, but it's recorded in the blockchain. That's how that's how everyone on the planet knows that you own that forever.
Yeah.
But the way they've worked out like the supposed energy demands is if that you're then trading that constantly every day, all day for 30 years.
Well, it's like a backing the value of that coin.
But it's not true. That's not how things are moving around.
But the reason I mentioned it is because we're coming to the end of the show now, and I think it's a really interesting subject, and I think it'll make for a great conversation. So I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Yeah, he's coming in next Thursday, so we'll be recording it just before the show goes out.
So we're a nice, fun show about something serious and interesting, and we'll all learn something. So I've had enough of reading up on inheritance tax, and Graham's telling me I forgot to say something, but I haven't. I just haven't got to it yet. So stop interfering. Catch the show on Stephen Englander, Alt Feed, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Just to remind you, accounting keeps the lights on.
No.
Oh, that was really slick. I like that.
Did you like that?
That was the reminder, not
so loud.
read verbatim.
Sorry. You know what? Catch the show on Stephen Englander. We're everywhere. We're on Alt Feed. Just type our name into the internet and we're there.
Type Stephen's name.
Type
just
my
in
name
Google right
to the
now,
podcast.
and you'll be everywhere.
We're there. We're
Oh,
everywhere.
that was seamless, guys.
Yeah. And in
We're getting good.
in terms of accounting,
We're getting
this
good.
is an accounting firm, and if we don't get more clients,
Yeah. Absolutely nothing will happen.
no
'cause
more
we've got-
Graham and Hayden.
Well, that's nothing to do with whether I get more clients or not, is it? Let's be real.
To be fair, though, no more Graham first.
Dude.
Do you know what? We're touch wood. We've been quite busy, and I think a little pitch for everybody, but it's more of a pat on the back. We've got a great team upstairs, and they really do look after people. I mean, you've seen it, haven't you? They genuinely chase people, get upset with people, and I wish people would do things like make sure the gateway numbers ready for us and get the paperwork in, or even just let us attach to their bank feeds, and we will supply you all this software to make sure things are good. But upstairs, you don't realise that people do work in the evenings, do work in the weekends, and they don't get paid extra for it. They just do it because they want to get people's jobs out, so they don't get into trouble, because there's so much horrible stuff going on. And we don't charge that much.
Well, you don't charge a damn thing for someone to just pick up the phone and ring. No. It's not like a dodgy lawyer where you're on the clock the second someone phones. If you've got
why are you comparing us to a dodgy
because
lawyer?
I'm saying
why dodgy? Why not just the clock's not ticking just because people talk to us.
No, because some lawyers, the second you talk to them,
it's most lawyers,
you're getting
but accountants
charged.
As well. And they keep the conversation going just so that you keep it. Well.
Like a chat line. You know about chat lines.
I do know about chat lines. What I'm saying is...
You've been on both ends of the chat line.
I've been on every... I've not just been on both ends. I've been on the back end. The tech support, everything.
Yeah.
The point is...
We're really clever. We spend lots of money on educating ourselves.
Yeah.
And we know what we're doing.
If you've got a problem, pick up the phone. It won't cost you a penny just to have a chat.
Yeah.
If we can
like my dad says, we do wonders with Valentine's. But kosher, we don't do anything naughty.
Right, I've given up trying to pitch then.
So, should we finish the show? Yeah, Hayden.
Don't forget to tune into the Alt Feed channel for Plain Comedy at 6:30 UK time and Trigger Warning at 10 p.m.
I'm just gone. It's been one of those days. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.